Washington just shook again. Another top military leader gone. Another purge deep inside the Pentagon. As Hegseth tightens control, the US Navy is left exposed mid-crisis. Because this isn't just a firing, it's a power shift, unfolding in real time. In a shocking turn of events, Secretary of the US Navy John Phelan has been ousted from his position, sending shockwaves through Washington. The announcement came on April 22nd, with Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell confirming that Phelan would be departing, effective immediately.
Secretary of the Navy John C. Phelan is departing the administration, effective immediately. On behalf of the Secretary of War and Deputy Secretary of War, we are grateful to Secretary Phelan for his service to the Department and the United States Navy. We wish him well in his future endeavours. Under-Secretary Hung Chow will become Acting Secretary of the Navy.
The abrupt decision follows months of mounting tensions between Phelan and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, particularly over disagreements on shipbuilding reforms and leadership authority. According to sources, shortly after discussions with President Donald Trump, Hegseth informed Phelan that he would need to resign or face dismissal. A senior administration official stated that both leaders agreed new leadership at the Navy was required. The timing of the decision has raised particular concern, as it comes while the US Navy is actively engaged in enforcing a blockade of Iranian ports during an ongoing ceasefire. US forces have reportedly redirected 31 vessels and boarded 2 ships as part of the operation, underscoring the Navy's central role in the current conflict. Despite the operational stakes, officials indicated that the decision to remove Phelan had been building for months. Tensions reportedly stemmed from Hegseth's frustration over what he viewed as slow progress on shipbuilding initiatives, alongside concerns that Phelan was bypassing the chain of command by communicating directly with the president. Deputy Defense Secretary Steve Feinberg was also said to be dissatisfied with Phelan's handling of naval acquisitions and had begun taking control of key responsibilities typically under the Navy Secretary's authority. The situation reached a breaking point during a White House meeting on April 22nd, focused on shipbuilding. According to a senior official, Trump expressed frustration with the pace of progress and instructed Hegseth to resolve the matter. Phelan was subsequently informed of his removal.
It was during a meeting between Trump and Hegseth on shipbuilding at the White House on April 22nd that the issues came to a head. Trump, frustrated by slow shipbuilding progress himself, became convinced during the meeting that Phelan needed to be replaced, and he and his Secretary of War resolved to install someone who would move more quickly. Trump told Hegseth to take care of it, because Phelan is subordinate to the Secretary of War. Hegseth sent a message to Phelan informing him he needed to resign or be fired.
Phelan, a businessman with no prior military service, had been appointed in 2025 and was known for his close relationship with Trump, having previously helped raise significant funds for his campaign. His tenure included ambitious proposals such as a major naval expansion initiative, but it was also marked by internal disputes within the Pentagon. Following his departure, Under-Secretary Hung Chow has been named Acting Secretary of the Navy. The development also comes against the backdrop of broader changes within the US military leadership. In recent weeks, Hegseth has overseen the removal of several senior officials, including the US Army's 41st Chief of Staff, General Randy George, who was asked to step down earlier. Over the past year, several high-ranking officials have been removed, including Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Linda Fagan, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General C.Q. Brown, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa Franchetti, Air Force Vice Chief of Staff General James Slife, Defense Intelligence Agency Head Lieutenant General Jeffrey Cruz, National Security Agency and Cyber Command Head General Timothy Hoare, and others. These moves have drawn concern from senior former officials. They cautioned that continued removals without clear justification could affect morale, deter future recruits, and discourage serving personnel from speaking openly. A sudden exit, a pattern of dismissals, and a navy in the midst of critical operations. This may be more than a leadership change. As tensions persist and decisions reshape the command structure, one question remains. What direction is the US military now heading in? The bombs are still falling on Iran, but inside the Trump administration, a different kind of battle is being fought, and it is getting ugly. 3 former US officials and a senior regional official told Middle East Eye that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have been at each other's throats over whether to send ground troops into Iran. The tension spilled into public view when Rubio stood before reporters on Capitol Hill and said what no Trump official had said out loud before.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties.
Washington erupted. MAGA influencers, conservative commentators, and anti-war voices on both left and right took it as confirmation that Israel had dragged America into a war.
Once the president made a decision that negotiations were not going to work, that they were playing us on the negotiations, and that this was a threat that was untenable, the decision was made to strike them.
But behind closed doors in a congressional briefing, Rubio had already let something else slip. When asked about arming Kurdish forces inside Iran, he told lawmakers,
"We're not arming the Kurds, but you never know with the Israelis."
3 statements, 3 different audiences, one consistent thread. Even America's top diplomat is not entirely sure where his own defense secretary's loyalties begin and end. Because while Rubio has been urging restraint, Hegseth has been operating in a different universe entirely. This is a man who came to the Pentagon with Crusader tattoos on his body, a Jerusalem cross on his skin, and the Arabic word for infidel freshly carved into his left bicep days after US airstrikes killed hundreds in Muslim-majority Yemen. Hegseth pushed for the largest air assault in history to continue, dismissed comparisons to Iraq, and refused to rule out ground forces.
Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
Hegseth has long been criticized by those on the left for being more loyal to Israel than America. His 2020 book, American Crusade, calls for a 360-degree holy war, frames Muslim immigration as an invasion of the West, and depicts Israel as central to what he calls a civilizational battle between Christianity and Islam. Hegseth's appointment was also a shock to many. His own National Guard unit flagged him as an extremism concern, and they might have been right. While Rubio is trying to pump the brakes, Hegseth is flooring the accelerator. And somewhere between those two men, a decision about American boots on Iranian soil is being made.